Hey traders, today's September 10th, 2013, and I'm going to go over the trades that I took this morning, and I'm also going to go into some missed opportunities. First, let me start with the broad market conditions, and you could see that this is the E-mini S&P 500, and let me zoom in on this for you. So basically, what we've had is this is a daily chart. We've had this run up followed by this pullback to about the 50% retracement of this run. And we've been bouncing from that retracement from since then. So the past 2 days, this was yesterday, so this was a pretty bullish day. And then today we're having continuation of the momentum to the upside. Just to give you an idea of the market conditions. So when we have this type of situation, when I'm looking at stocks, I'm thinking, okay, I'm more long biased, I'm more bullish biased based on the market. So I had a lot of alerts this morning. I literally was overwhelmed with stocks that were popping off moves, but I just had to kind of focus and figure out which ones would be the best ones to take. And CTHR I decided was one of them. And basically we had a daily consolidation breakout, nice run, nice pullback, continuation, but within that move we had this resistance level. You see you had a touch here, and a touch here of this 765-ish level, just around it evenly. And so I was looking for that 765 level to break for upside potential and give us a nice breakout. Now when I saw this stock open at the breakout point, I was thinking to myself, okay, this could be a big day for this stock. And you can see it's got big range bars previously. You could see these big green candles, just they're very big bars. So you could see compared to these tiny bars, all these bars are really they're a lot smaller than these. So that's considered bigger range than this. So I knew a move could happen. So what I did was I went ahead and went to the 2-minute chart, which is this one right here. I'll blow it up. And I saw that right at that daily breakout level of 765, we had resistance. And this is what I like to see. This is confluence is what this is. So not only did we have 765 resistance level on the daily chart, but the 2-minute was putting in a resistance level right at that same level. So I was looking for that to break, and when it did, you could see it did it a little bit quickly. There was a little bit of a spread, so I didn't get the best fill, but I did pretty good. 768 was my fill, only a few cents off of the breakout point. So from there, it was very interesting to see what happened, and this has never happened to me before. And honestly, it was challenging for me a bit because this price action, I was very unfamiliar with how to work with it. Looking in hindsight, you think to yourself, Nikki, what the hell were you thinking? This thing, went way higher than where you exited. But looking bar by bar, and this dotted line right here is the market open. What I'm thinking is this thing opened at the breakout point was 765, so I went ahead and entered. We had big gap, or a gap from this 772 level up to 77, and then we had another gap from there from 79 up to, well, it opened, yeah, 784. So when I was looking at this, my heart started pounding a little bit, and I was thinking, well, whoa, what's going on? Well, what's happening basically is the buyers are coming in wanting to eat up the supply, and it just ate it up so fast that it gapped up. So what I did was I scaled 2/3 of my position. You can see my arrows are a little stacked up here because I scaled out on the same bar, which seems to happen to me a lot. But basically, I scaled some out. 2/3 of my position I scaled out up here. And the reason I did that was because I was looking at this as an overextended move from where I bought, meaning this thing looked like it could have very easily pulled back hard back to this EMA or maybe even all the way back to the breakout point. You just don't know, because when something moves like this, you want to be very aware of the possibilities and the probabilities. But unfortunately, in the heat of the moment, all I was thinking was, this thing's moved. Uh, it's got these gaps, and all I can think about is, what if this thing pulls back strong? Would I regret not taking the profit up here while I had it? Because either this is going to keep going, well, a few things. It could pull back and then keep going higher. It could pull back and completely fail, meaning this move was just so exuberant that it popped up and then it completely just failed out from there. Um, or it could have just pulled back and uh, retested the breakout point, which you want to give it room for that sometimes, and then continued from there. So you really didn't know what was going to happen here, and I wanted to trade it with no emotion affecting the trade, and I was just feeling too emotional about it when I saw these gaps. They were messing with me a little bit, so I ended up just closing it, because I was like, I had a third of my position left for a runner. I was like, okay, I'll leave a third on. I've already got 2/3 off. I'll leave a third on and see what it does. Give it a chance to either pull back and continue, give it a chance to pull back and fail from there. I don't know what's going to happen. So I left a third on, and then I just got way too emotional about it and closed my full position. Now let me take a look at I want to show you the extensions on here. The extension levels were this stock hit the extension. It went to both the extensions that I pulled. I pulled on the daily 813, and then I pulled on the 60-minute chart 816. So you could see that it hit that area, the 813 to 16 level, and if I would have just not let my emotions get to me so much, I would have been able to see that this had only moved a couple percent, or a couple of percentage points. So I, really, in hindsight, I really could have gave it a little more room to do its work and see what was going to happen. But these gaps just really threw me off and kind of put me into a bit of an emotional state. So let's look at what happened. I mean, from here, it consolidated a little bit. Buyers came in and held the thing up and supported it, and it just continued higher and higher into my daily extension. So the amount of money that I left on the table is a little ridiculous, but at the same time, I managed this to what I felt was comfortable to me, and also I didn't want to manage it wrong, and I knew I was getting emotional about it, so I went ahead and just closed my position, knowing I'm taking profit and I'm comfortable with that. So, but the lesson here really is that this has never happened to me before, so it was my first time dealing with price action like this. But if I would have just stayed calm, and instead of getting excited about the action, stayed a little bit calmer and thought through it a little bit more, I would have seen, Nikki, give this a chance to pull back for continuation, especially if it was gapping up in my favor. That's usually a good sign. Granted, it can slam back down if this was just a quick thrust of buyers, and it just kind of fizzles out. But give it a chance to show you what it's going to do. And I could have very easily done that with a third of my position, and already had 2/3 taken with profit, and been fine, and been able to really catch a lot of this move. And I'm going to do another video going over another trade that I took and going into some missed opportunities.